and to Mike Blakey, who's sitting in for Keith Mashaw tonight. Mike?
Thank you, Bill. We'll hear from Keith in a minute. First of all, it's basketball, and he's not a refrigerator, but he has been called the round mound of rebound. Tonight at the Seattle Coliseum, the Sonics ran into the Philadelphia 76ers and their emerging star, Charles Barkley. As we pick up the highlights, though, we'll go to the first quarter, and first of all, we'll see Philadelphia on the fast break. Former Virginia player Greg Stokes with the outlet to Dr. J, and the old man can still do it. 76ers up by 7 points at that point. Sonics remain close, though, in this one. The X-Man, he shows his stuff. A nice slam dunk there. Sonics down by only 4 points at the half. Second half, though, the 76ers just too tough for the Sonics, and too much Charles Barkley. The nice spin move in the lane for two. He had 18 points and 21 rebounds. The final, Seattle loses 106-99. In college hoops, only 3 top 20 teams were in action tonight, but at the top of our scoreboard, a big upset in the Big 8 Conference. Fourth-ranked Kansas lost just its 3rd game of the season, and the first game in Big 8 play. Kansas losing tonight to Iowa State. There you see it, the final 77-74. The Jayhawks are now 19-3 overall and 4-1 in league play. Iowa State, meanwhile, is now 4-2 and 13-6 overall. In Big East play, Syracuse by 25 over Boston College. And finally, one more score. Louisville beat LaSalle tonight, 72-60. In soccer, there was a big shakeup today in the Tacoma Stars organization. Head coach Bob McNabb was fired, and he has been replaced by former Seattle Sounders coach Alan Hinton. Under McNabb's direction, the Stars are 11-16 so far this season and in 4th place in the MISL's Western Division. Now in its 3rd season, the Tacoma franchise is looking for its first playoff berth. To achieve that goal, the Stars must at least hold on to the 4th place spot. KCPQ's Keith Mashaw caught up with the new man Alan Hinton, and she asked him when he and club president John Best first got together.
Well, we've been talking for about a week, and we had 5 or 6 hours of meetings and real good conversations about the direction the Stars want to take, and might have come from being strong and being leaders.
That's the soccer story. In football, it looks like the Chicago Bears are going to lose their defensive coordinator, Buddy Ryan. The Philadelphia Eagles have called a press conference for noon tomorrow, and it is expected the Eagles will introduce Ryan as their new head coach. It would be Ryan's first head coaching job. The defensive genius has spent 18 years in the NFL as an assistant. Today, the New Orleans Saints made it official. The Saints have named Jim Mora as their new head coach. The former Husky assistant has spent the last 3 years in the USFL. The past 2 seasons, he has led Philadelphia and then the Baltimore Stars to USFL championships. Also today, the NFL announced its inductees for the Hall of Fame. On his 15th try, former Packer great Paul Hornung has finally made it. Hornung's 1-year suspension in 1963 for betting on his own team, the Packers, has always been cited as the reason for his delayed entry into the Hall. Apparently, that is finally all behind him. 4 other players will join Hornung at induction ceremonies next spring in Canton, Ohio. They are quarterback Fran Tarkenton, who starred for many years with the Minnesota Vikings, Doak Walker, who was the Detroit Lions' premier running back in the 50s. 2 defensive standouts were also selected, former Kansas City Chief linebacker Willie Lanier and defensive back Ken Houston, who played with the Washington Redskins and the Houston Oilers.